What do you say that we get down to business for tonight? Because all the wonderful things he does, we might make the playoffs tonight. I know. We nearly did last year. Tyler, take it easy, buddy. We nearly did last year, and this team possibly, potentially, could meme their way to a playoff spot. Would we get dunked on once we get there? Perhaps. But we might make it. Craze, what's going on? I'm excited, man. I'm excited indeed. We have Huns to defeat. Again, in terms of the ratings, for those who didn't see the very end of last night, at this stage, 77, 67, and an 82. That compares to Florida's 92, 87, 81. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. No promises. But within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we could be getting ready for a playoff battle. And I am incredibly excited. So let's sim to December 1st. Or, for that matter, we could be getting ready to get absolutely dunked on. Let's call a spade a spade. There is a chance that this could blow up in our face. And we make it nowhere near. Like, no. Nowhere near where we want to be, unfortunately. So, I mean, hey. We'll see how it plays out, right? We'll see how it plays out. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to check something really quickly. We should be good, though. Let's do this. Cody, what's up? Thoughts on Jack Akan? I love him. The Bruins very quietly signed two of the best names out of the NCAA last year, in Jack Akan and Nick Wolf. So, shout out to one Jack Akan. Big fan. Big fan. Let's see. So no 14-4-4 start to this season from the looks of it. But you never know what could happen today. Review the 2K10 model roster before using them. I mean, we haven't gotten into them tonight. I took a look at them, yeah. They're not... I mean, if you look at just overalls, they're not exactly what you would expect. But the approach wasn't to necessarily care about overalls. So we'll talk about that a little bit later when we switch over to them. Because we shall. I actually didn't mean to keep simming. I meant to look at the team. But deciding to sim, I mean, it started to look alright. So January 1st, 17, 12, and 7. 41 points, very much in the playoff mix. Jesus, Pittsburgh. Deep analytics space. Not so much, but trying to base it more off of individual attributes more than anything was their approach. Do I think the Bruins will sign that top free agent for Boston College? I don't know. NCAA free agents are always a crapshoot, right? First and foremost, goaltending. So Kolesnik hasn't been as good as he's normally been. He's at least not over a 920. He's still at a 917, which is great. Defensively, Jesse Monador is nowhere near the point-producing defenseman he was previously. Nobody on our defense is necessarily bad, though, which is nice. The one thing I'm going to do, basically, is swap everyone around. We'll do that to start things off. Then for the forwards, Renas looking pretty good. Bykov not looking that bad. Jeffrey not looking that bad. 60 penalty minutes is kind of rough. Okay, we found an issue. It's that second line. Fourth line could use a bit of improvement as well. So let's hope swapping the wings around helps that second line. So we got a couple of things to be worried about a little bit. But I consider playing HLM on stream. I don't know what that is. And people mention it all the time what it is, and I still don't remember what it is. Hot take 2, Mulan 2 is better than the original. That is a hot take. In terms of Disney movie sequels, Mulan 2 is up there, I'll give you that. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Will there ever be another Joe Byer? I don't think so. I don't know if I'll ever get a player like that again. Especially in a series that has limitations. 22, 19, and 7. 7 points out of the playoffs, guys. I told you, like last year, no expectations. This year, some expectations. So what happened last year, we were good. This year, Kolesnik's not putting up the same numbers. And defensively, it's not working. Defensively, it's not working. HLM's mobile game 50 times better. I mean, I guess the argument would be, why would I play that over FHM? Let's get Peros on that top unit. Stafford does have a great shot. Fost and Hagman, it's been a little bit rough. For the forwards, I'm mainly looking at plus-minus right now. That second line's a disaster. That second line is an outright disaster. I hate to say it for Jeffrey, but we're going to swap you and Denny. Shit. Denny's a horrible fit. Denny's got to be on that fourth line. I think it's the only way, or only place, only spot where he'll be okay. Let's swap Jeffrey and Huey, and let's just see what happens. I mean, we're in that real tough spot right now of this team is probably not going to be good enough to make the playoffs. Let's call a spade. But we can at least make some changes to try and get things, you know, leaning in the right direction. So, start doing squad 3 and find a guy who's better. I don't think that's how it works. Nedeljkovic for Vezina or Calder. Not Vezina. He won't end up starting enough games for people to give him a fair shake, but Alex Nedeljkovic is in the conversation for Calder. It's just the odds that it goes to a goalie just seems incredibly slim, right? Just like our chances of making the playoffs right now. We regress this year. Damn. Would have made the playoffs last year if the division wasn't crazy, and this year, for whatever reason, we just don't have it to the same level. We just don't. It's disappointing. Goaltending hasn't been the same. And defensively, yeah, the plus-minuses are just brutal. Absolutely brutal. So at this stage, I guess we won't care too much about chemistry or anything like that. Might as well just drop the dudes who are underperforming. That second line's just been abysmal. Honestly, yeah, if someone's been underperforming to that extent, no reason to not just immediately drop them. At least as best we can.
Fanboy! The man was a fanboy!
Joey! 15 months on the Prime sub. Joey, thank you for that, buddy. How you been? I hope you've been well. And thank you for throwing money at my face, dude. They could give the Calder to Lankinen, that's true. Kaprizov was my preseason prediction for obvious reasons, and yeah, I'm sticking with it. It's unfortunate for some other people because it's like, yeah, well, if you weren't in the same class as this guy, I mean, maybe it would have worked out, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. Let's just run with this team. We're not going to make the playoffs anyway. We're not. Goaltending's not there. The scoring's clearly not there. Well, I said 5 to 10 minutes ago that, hey, maybe. And, yeah, no. No, that's not going to happen. No playoffs for us this year. The streak continues. The streak continues, unfortunately. Started an expansion team. 4th year in, jump from 12th to 1st. Don't think that's happened more than a handful of times. Nice! Should at least get a franchise player out of it. Top 3 would be Kaprizov, Lankinen, and Ty Smith. Ty Smith still has a good shout. Obviously, for certain other teams, if you're a playoff, you know, going into the playoffs, it helps you a lot in the voting. Oh, what a disappointment for us this year. We should still hit 30 wins, but we might not. Okay, we did. So we're consistently winning 30 games. But this year, where it looked like maybe, just maybe, we could push for the playoffs, it didn't happen. Damn. Well, it does mean we'll get to see the start of next season, though. But yeah, just not our year. I mean, 10 years into this now, just about. Ottawa was the top team. And we were back in 25th. I mean, we're not the worst of the worst, like the New York Rangers are, apparently. But we're also not where we want to be. We had tied for the second worst offense in the league. And our goals against average, unfortunately, was a little bit up there at a 3.1. So, it's not where we wanted to be. 13% on the power play. Fourth worst power play in the league. Penalty kill was at 82%, which was up there, top 5. So, just all in all, a setback for us. Scoring wasn't quite on the same level. Anthony Jeffrey taking 128 penalty minutes doesn't help at all. He fits in with the Goon Squad better than this team, apparently. I mean, our goal-scoring king, we had 3 20 goal scorers in Renas, Jeffrey, and Reza. Defensively, Monador still hit 40 points, but obviously that defense just isn't where we need it to be. Cam, I completely agree. There needs to be an ad expansion team during franchise mode like we see in 2K for NBA. Completely agree. And then, yeah, our big issue this year, Kolesnik. Sergei Kolesnik gets the big money, and you can't tell me this game isn't realistic. You cannot tell me that this game isn't realistic. It is. We give a guy some money, and he falls off a cliff. That's just how it works. God damn. Oh, what the hell's going on with the music here? Pretzel, figure it out. Figure it out. Please. I need a soundtrack to these horrible, sick memes. Alright. Well, we'll take a look at the stats around the league as well, because, hey, we get to recruit a little bit more now. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Christian Vesalainen doing well. Lafreniere ends up in Ottawa, because why not? Sim Engine scoring's at low-high, just like it was in Goon Squad, and it's playing out completely differently. Completely differently, and I don't know why. Very, very bizarre that it's playing out this way. Defensively, Quinn Hughes runs away with the Norris, no doubt about it. Goal-scoring king was Ryan Merkley, who's now in Washington. For the goalies, Hellebuck's also in Ottawa. Snipe and Score is about to need a new pair of pants. Kevin Lankinen ends up in Edmonton. Save percentage king. It's probably going to be Kevin Lankinen. Fair enough. Goal scoring, nobody. And then for the rookies, it is going to be UC Kerman in Los Angeles, unless they give it to Guy Gagnon. Who's to say? So that is another season in the books. Very disappointing, all things considered. Can't say I'm overly happy about it, but that's okay. Because hopefully we get some good off-season development. Hopefully we get some more good recruits to work with. But yeah, I can't say I'm not disappointed as the Vancouver Canucks win the Stanley Cup. The Couve. Congratulations to the Couve. We move up from 8th to 2nd. I love that that happened in a series where I don't make draft picks, which sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Who did Vancouver beat? Always said this game was broken and unrealistic. For the awards. Pierre-Luc Dubois wins the Art Ross. The Hart goes to Lafreniere in Ottawa. Chabot wins the Norris. That's incredible. Lafreniere wins the Lady Byng. Kerman won the Calder. DiPietro wins the Conn Smythe. The Vezina to Kevin Lankinen. Man, these awards were fucking weird this year. Traverse wins his second Jack Adams in 3 years. Selke goes to Sasha Barkov. Ted Lindsay to Lafreniere, and Salcido won the Rocket Richard. So, Lafreniere is having a fun time in Ottawa. I think he signed as a free agent, too. And we're at the stage now where the AHL is just nothing but computer-generated dudes. In terms of our progress reports, anything interesting? There's a oh, no. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There is a severe lack of development here. Welch is now a 70. Huh. I mean, the good thing is we have other goalies in the system. This is not the way I expected this year to go. I will tell you that much. Mark Stone, Artemi Panarin, Sean Monahan, and others retire. Fair enough. For the defense, Seth Jones, Morgan Riley, Dougie. For the goaltenders, Mrazek, Big Save Dave, Allmark, Bennington's retiring at this stage. Jesus. All right. Monahan and Gallagher become coaches. We are finding ourselves in a very, very weird spot. What the hell is going on with this? I don't understand what's going on. I'm going to have to just find a YouTube playlist and hope like hell that it's not screwed. Give me a second here really quickly. And again, we'll just hope that there's no copyrights on this playlist. There is absolutely copyright on this playlist, son of a bitch. What about on this playlist? There's a oh my god. So where do you go for non-copywritten music when your non-copywritten music service is broken? Jesus. Can't catch a break. There we go. I mean, hey, at least found a playlist that hasn't been hit by a bot, so we'll go for it. Anyway, that said, Brits, what's going on? I'm doing pretty well. No complaints. Alright, at least you have a cap wheel for the next 6 years, right? Right. So again, we got the second overall pick. We're going to be trading it to the New York Rangers. I remember now the Rangers. I'm not giving it to Vancouver. They just won the cup. It's just UDFA. Yes, it is. So congratulations to the New York Rangers. You lost Lafreniere. You fell apart. Your reward is a buttload of draft picks to help turn around your team. We'll see if it works out that way for you. So congratulations are in order. We'll see what they do with it after missing out on the #1 overall pick. And they missed out on a franchise player. Pittsburgh gets Upshaw. Dimmadome, I have the tab open. So I went with something else, but fair enough. Duly noted. Duly noted. Duly noted indeed. So yeah, shout out to Matt Upshaw going to Pittsburgh, huh? Skewin, Bemstrom, Campoli. The Rangers kind of blew it. Not like Nashville, though. Alright. I mean, hey, we'll see how that plays out, obviously. You know, next couple of years, we'll see. Ends up being a free agent. So, we go to the re-sign phase, then. Now, I do want to try to get to the beginning of next season as soon as possible. We are at risk of losing 2 of our better coaches, which really sucks. Especially Dandino being, you know, a tremendous fit for this team, all things considered. But we'll see if he wants to come back. And then Canzanello, I'd very much appreciate holding on to. I'm just not going to hold my breath here because he's a really good coach. A really good coach. So we'll see what happens there. The coaching staff could be in a state of flux at the moment. So goalie-wise, we'll qualify Salcido. Let's sign Ackerstrom and Flaherty. Achilles, what's up? We thought we might get towards a playoff spot, and that has not happened. That is where we stand right now. We need a little bit more luck from old RN Jesus to make something happen here. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm hoping we get some more good recruits here in free agency. Unfortunately, if we have a down year like we did there and it affects player development, that puts us into a really rough spot. No surprise that Jeffrey wants a decent amount of money. Fernandez. Fortunately, we're getting to the point now where a lot of these dudes are UFAs and they just want like one-year deals, so I have to consistently just re-sign them every year. It's not a good sign when I'm essentially having to re-sign the team every year. It shows that there is a real lack of development. Even from the low elite that we have. At least at forward, we got a couple of low elites on defense. Alright. Let's move forward a day. Alright, Dandino signed. Thank God for that. Canzanello rejected. No surprise. Alright, so spam the button. In terms of UFAs, what do we got? Alright, it's... Okay, well, we got 4 dudes that are trying to turn the deals down. $65 million to work with. So, we'll sign Reza to a little bit more money. We'll sign Brashear to a little bit more money. Let's hope for a miracle. I mean, as much as we do need a miracle in free agency, we need a miracle in terms of certain players actually developing. That's what we're looking at right now. We need a little bit of help in that department. But alright, this team is good to go. Do you have other ideas? Of course I do. Of course I do. There are always fun challenges to do to make this mode more interesting. So the moment of truth then that we wait for every year, I was hoping we wouldn't be here this early. But, I mean, here we are. Holy shit. That was the first ever draft pick that went to Detroit. You know, 700 points in 800 games. It's not bad. He's actually been a very disappointing franchise player. Go figure. Alright. Well, no goalies available. That sucks. At least no great goaltenders. Ugh. Every time you lose, you have to make a trade. Jesus, that just sounds like... Why do I want to sit there and spend 6.5 hours on one season? Fucking hell. Alright, well, we got room for one goalie. Alright, so goaltending will be interesting. In terms of goalies, we're looking at Rich Robbins, who's a 56. I mean, Robbins over Agias. Puistonen, I mean, Robbins is better. Is there anybody else? No. Alright, cool. So, we'll go sign Robbins then. Because why not? At least get another goalie into the system. He should be. The problem is he's a 51. Matthias Olas is available. Okay. So we're going to go for this low elite defenseman. Again, the problem is he's a 51, but hey, still worth it. And for the low fours, do we have anybody? No, we don't. Wow. That is a very, very weak free agent class. Which on one hand can be a good thing because it means I have less moves to make and can get right back into, you know, getting this team prepped, but no forwards either. Harsh. I can't believe Minnesota didn't sign this guy. What the hell is wrong with the AI that Minnesota doesn't sign this player? Wow. Alright. Korobov, can't get him. Sally, what the hell's wrong with you, Calgary? Jesus. I hit the triggers like an idiot. Gotta scroll back down. How many low sixes are there? Spencer's available. Go ahead and sign this guy. Kovalev, not available. Salio, not available. Korobov wasn't available. 3 players. 1 goalie, 1 defenseman, 1 forward. That is where we stand right now. This. Hey, holy hell, we actually have a medium 9. That's a rarity. That's a real rarity. We actually got a medium top 9. He's horrible because he's a 55. Of course, Brashear isn't available. Oh my god. Please. Please, he's an enforcer too. Please. This is why nobody likes Montreal. In case you're a Habs fan and you were wondering why nobody likes you, this is why. I mean, it's one of the reasons at least. Oh, just a knife right through the heart. Anybody else? Please. Anybody else, please? No. Except for low 9s, where, again, low 9 isn't a horrible... Ooh, Newberry. I hate Montreal with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. Lundstrom at a 62 is worth signing. Is there anybody else? A 64 and Whitman? Alright, well so far, through the first 26, almost 27 minutes of this, it has been nothing but a swift kick to the dick. Which is what you normally get from NHL 21, and it's what I'm getting tonight. Just a swift kick, unfortunately. There are a couple of 59s, but I'm not as concerned. Oh my god, please. What is up with Montreal dropping these useful players? Alright, we're at least up to 7. Make that 8. I don't know how that guy was on a 2-year instead of a 3-year. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with how many people I got to get off the roster. Jay Booz is there. Pretty much anyone who's 20 and over a 60 is worth targeting here. It's a lot of low 9s every year. EA, NHL loves low 9s. Quentin Bishop would have been great. Even though that dude's a year younger, I'm going to hold off. How is there an 18-year-old player here? Because Carolina let go of him, apparently. Alright. So 9 contract offers are out, which is rough. Well, we have to get rid of some people. So for the defense... 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hate to say it, I mean, for defensemen, like the low 4 and Matvechuk, I really don't think he's gonna make it. I have to keep these 74s just in case, even though this defense really failed me. Unfortunately, Peros was a low elite. Honestly, I think Peros has to go. Which is a shame. I think he was our first low elite defenseman. And he just never made the cut. Like, he has value as a defensive defenseman, I suppose, but for the most part, I'm good with just moving him out of there. Yeah. Peros is out. Tukio has a chance. Those 23-year-olds still technically have a chance. We're going to get rid of Matvechuk as well. I just think that overall is too low for him to actually make it. And for the forwards, Anybody under a 74 is in a rough spot. Olczek's 29 already, for God's sakes. Knights probably isn't going to make it as a 24-year-old. Unfortunately, and the attributes aren't really good enough, so we'll let go of Knights. Same thing for Darius Vetterl. Decent puck skills category, but has nothing else going for him. We'll let him go. And then this dude, Callahan, the Enforcer, he's not going to get anywhere close. So we'll look to move on from these 5 to help free up roster spots. That brings us down to 44. Technically, I'd still have to cut other players. So that's where it gets more difficult. I mean, for our defense, you could argue Hopkins isn't going to make it. We keep Lindgren, point worse, a year younger. Yeah, I think Hopkins is on the outs. And in terms of forwards, they should be easier to get rid of. This low 9 and Filppula. We'll stick with Mikanov and get rid of him. And that should get us to a stage where we're okay. If I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the free agents here really quickly. 9 offers out on 42 contracts. Son of a bitch. It's been tough. It's been real tough to make this work. Very tough. To Sean White, what's going on? Dropping the old gritty face. Good old gritty. I don't know what we're going to do here, guys. I think Olczek has to go. I just can't imagine using him at this stage as an enforcer. It's just not going to happen. And to be honest, I don't think Winnick is going to make it either, and he doesn't really have enough going on for him. So Olczek and Winnick are also going to be bounced as I just continue to dump my trash onto Anaheim. So yeah, hate to get rid of the Goon and Olczek, but it's just not going to work. Texky, what's going on, buddy? Alright, really quick to the coaching staff before we make sure if we got everybody. Let's see what we can find. 14 straight losses for the Sabres. I mean, it could be worse. Probably. I don't know if it could be worse, actually. Never mind. I don't like the feeling of lying to a friend. I mean, Texky, you said 3:30, right? I think you said 3:30 you'd be home from work. Get some roof dudes in. Oh, Battlefield. Thoughts on Osprey winning New Japan? I mean, I'm fine with it. To be honest, again, like New Japan, I haven't been paying as much attention to. Like, I'm paying attention to it, but in terms of Jovanovski, come on. In terms of watching wrestling without a crowd, again, it's my interest is taking a big hit. All right, it looks like we got every single free agent. Text, you go to Twitter. I mean, group chat with DJ and I, just let us know. Pretty sure the Houston Rockets are worse right now. I mean, at least the Houston Rockets were competitive at one point, though, right? At least the Houston Rockets have won somewhat recently. Not a title, but had been competitive. Buffalo hasn't been competitive for a decade. So, you know, take your pick, right? Alright, RFAs. Really, it's just Johnston at this stage. I thought everyone else had signed. Well, congratulations to Johnston. You're about to get a boatload of money. I might actually have to sign into the cap whale this year because the max contract went way up. Way, 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 way up. Alright. Well, Architect, put it this way, though. Only one team can be the worst. You know? Like the Cleveland Browns were the worst. They're not anymore. The Houston Rockets right now are the worst. I'd argue Buffalo hasn't been competitive since Hasek left. That's not... Nah, that's not accurate, though. That's not accurate, though. You can't discredit... You can't discredit some of those Sabres seasons with Ryan Miller. That's not fair. And that's revisionist history. I mean... The Sabres made the conference quarterfinal in 06-07, man. Like, yeah, they lost to Ottawa in, what, like 5 games? But that was well beyond the Hasek years. And, I mean, granted, they got bounced in the first round, but they won their division in 09-10. And then the Bruins beat them, but we don't have to talk about that. So, that's not accurate to say it hasn't been, you know, they haven't been competitive since the Hasek era. But it has been a decade at this stage. Alright, what is our team for this next season? Unbelievably, guys, Kolesnik's down in the AHL. We're going to run with Flaherty and Ackerstrom. Salcido at 25 will be the starter. I can't believe this. Kolesnik is no longer our NHL starter. Just like that. Wow. We're going to go Flaherty and Ackerstrom this year. Defensively, 3, 4, 5, 6. Defensively, we have our 6. We'll just go with our highest rated dudes. Best thing we can do. And for the forwards, we have our 10, 11, and 12 with Armstrong. Alright. So I don't know what coach is going to be for the best. Honestly, whoever this coach is will probably continue to be our coach. And it's Dandino still. That works for me. Unfortunately, our sick goalie coach retired, so that doesn't help. I mean, Dandino has been the head coach of this team. Again, there was an argument over whether or not he should be. The team chem right now shows up at a 55. What is it for Bartlett? 59. What is it for Krause? 56. Hold on. If I go back to Bartlett, we go best lines. I just want to see if that does anything. Some people says that it does. No, still a 59. And then Krause was what, a 56? 53. How good's Connolly? 62. 62 for Connolly. What about Tucker? I think we gotta go Bartlett. Or Tucker. I think we're gonna go with Tucker. As crazy as that is, I think Dandino is going to get demoted after the failures of last season. We have to try something different. We have to. So we're getting a goalie coach named Hasek, which is perfect. And we'll see what happens heading into this new season with this new coach. Just really quickly to set up the team. Let's take a look here. So Fost, Hagman, Darling. A combination of those three need to be on that second pairing. It makes sense for it to be Fost and Monador because we don't have another OFD. Although if Monador gets bumped, yeah, it's still only a 3. Ooh, a +3 or 1s across the board. I would probably take 1s across the board. So we'll go Darling, Domingue, Monador, Fost, Stafford, and Hagman for our defense. It is still not all that incredible, unfortunately. J-Rose, what's going on? For the forwards, what do we have heading into this next season? Jesus, all right. Who could be used on the fourth line? Not you. So Giftopoulos is out of the question for Reza. I don't think I'd consider... I mean, Johnson could be a fourth liner. Jeffrey. It sucks we gotta go through it like this to this extent, but we definitely have to. Alright, so any of these dudes, aside from the top line options, could be fourth liners. And basing it off of overall, like it's clearly, you know, Johnson in that role. I think we got it. Johnson, Brashear, Armstrong for the +1. For the third line, definitely not Fernandez. Honestly, I think it's got to be a combination of Giftopoulos and Yui and Reza. So then for the top 6, Denny on the second line, Bykov on the first, Marchand on the first, Jeffrey and Renas preferably on the first. Oh boy. Well, I hate to have a -1 there, but I think that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Really do hate to have that -1 there, but that is exactly what we're having to look at here. There really isn't a better option. I will say, I've lost a little bit of optimism with this challenge. Just in the past half an hour or so, 40 minutes gone by at these stages. Damn. And we have some chemistry. It's new goaltending this year. I don't really know how it's going to pan out. And goaltending-wise, it's going to be Salcido and Kolesnik, who I can't believe isn't our starter anymore. Defensively, all 04s. It's the 23-year-olds that are in danger first. So Persson and Kavasha, who have been here for a while. Kopitz is a low 4, and a low elite in Olas. Take out Kavasha. We'll get Olas in there. Super low overall dude. So at least we know that Laaksonen finally has a spot on the NHL defense after playing forward last year. I didn't even check to see how well he did at forward last year. He had 57 points and 28 goals. So that idea of playing Topi Laaksonen at forward because of that absurd offensive ability, I mean, it definitely paid off. Definitely paid off. Kolesnik could potentially jump back up, yes, but I mean, we kind of know that that 77 overall is actually where he's at. Like, the morale's fine. So you know that's closer to his actual overall. So the question is, do you want him to bounce back and get back up there? Or do you want, like, Flaherty or Ackerstrom to go to that level, and then theoretically they'd be an even higher overall? So it's a weird spot to be in, admittedly. And in terms of the team building process, too, I mean, we're still in that stage, you know, that setup. Why are you paying him 10 mil? Because he was worth 10 mil not all that long ago. Persson's going to be taken out. I need someone who can actually play a different line. It might have to be Kavasha. And unfortunately, yep, there it is. All right. All right, I guess we are set. terms of the defense, we have 2 low elites on the top pair. It's not horrible. I mean, again, we're still at that stage where it's like, okay, do I say screw overall and just care about... You know, screw overall, just care about the player types and try and get the best chemistry, or do we also factor in overall? We're still taking the strategy of factoring in overall, but it's admittedly a bit of a tough decision here, a fine line to balance right now. All right, let me see. Alright, so now out of the low 9s, the lowest overalls, these are the dudes that are on the chopping block for the moment. So Cooper, you're going to take a seat for anybody. Not for Lundstrom, although he's sick. Carlotti, Booze. CU's got to be in as a medium 9. I think both of these guys are at about the same level. Not all that great. Arthur Spencer needs to make it into this lineup. And then from there, highest rated scratch forward is a 65. Honestly, I'm going to put in Cooper. Development of a power forward can help out a ton. So then to take a look at this team. Again, we need to optimize this just to make sure this team does as well as they possibly can. Although we might just go based off of overall now at this stage. That might be for the best. Let's see, Saamelainen or Cooper? Definitely Saamelainen. Alright, so the 4th line is pretty much set. 3rd line... also pretty much set. I think we're good. I mean, we know we might not get a ton of chemistry out of this, but you know, you deal with what you can. So I'm very intrigued to see what the team ratings are going to be. I hate that we have that -1 at the NHL level, but it's pretty much the best we can get right now. In terms of captaincy for the team, I mean, Danny Deming still has a pretty good shout at leadership here. Renaus is still the captain. Take that letter off of Denny. We have one on Deming. And for the hell of it, give one to Giftopoulos, I suppose. And just to double check the AHL, the old Tulsa Tuskers. Where the leadership's is gone. Toby Laxton is a leader. I'm hoping he's going to be able to develop. I really am. He is the captain of the team. We'll leave the letters on everyone else. So, with that, I think we're good for the upcoming season. Although I can't get a goalie coach to save my life, apparently, so I don't even know if I'm going to bother with that. Let's at least check out what the ratings are going to be for this season. For the Tuskers, obviously we know this rating is going to be quite low. But for the Tuskers, this beautiful mustachioed man, it's 50, 47, and a 78. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the rating stayed about the same, if not slightly dropped off. Maybe. And for the NHL roster, not expecting much change. 76, 68, and an 80. So 76 rated offense. It's getting closer to NHL caliber. The goaltending is better than Carolina's. But our defense is still the obvious weak link right now, unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, again, I genuinely thought we might be able to make the playoffs last year. We didn't. I don't know if this upcoming season will be any different, unfortunately.